Today, I want to talk about the hidden culprit of why most women cannot lose the last 5 to 10 pounds or maybe even more. Okay, let me know in the comments if you are currently struggling in your weight loss journey. There are multiple reasons why people struggle, but if you feel you are doing all the right things, you are eating within your caloric ranges, your macros are on point, you're exercising every day, you're even walking every day, maybe you're a nut about closing your rings. Let me know in the comments how many of you obsess over the rings, okay? I have never. And I have always been that person that will not even put my watch on until after my workout is done. I have done half marathon training and then I get home and I put it on. I will get on the treadmill and I do not need to stop at an exact number. And I've just always been that way. I have been a recovering perfectionist forever. And honestly, that leads me into what I'm talking about, is that we are so obsessed and so focused on hitting everything to the T and going over and above and doing more, pushing through the pain. Friends, if this is you and you're still struggling and you're doing everything correct and you're doing even more so than what you've been asked to do in your program, your coaching program, your online app, whatever the case may be, your nervous system might be shot, okay? So I do want to go through specifics that can help you understand where you are at with your nervous system and your recovery and your longevity and what that all looks like and why it is so important to not only feeling better, sleeping better, having more energy throughout the day, being stronger, and not getting sick as often, but it's going to allow you to burn fat more efficiently because your adrenals aren't going to be taxed and your cortisol is sky high and you have no idea. So information, again, tools are great, but if you are a personality where information really sets you over the edge and it really confuses you and really gets you to a place where you're even more elevated with cortisol, you're stressed out all the time, then I urge you to tread lightly with any tracking devices, whether it is the Apple Watch or it is this Hume Health band. It's a longevity band that I'm going to share with you guys. I know I mentioned it once before in a story, but I do want to take a little bit deeper of a dive into the specifics and the insights it tracks and how this is different than other tracking devices. It may be for you, it may not be for you, maybe it's for someone you know. This is actually the first longevity band on the market. If you have heard me talk about their Body Pod, it is the scale you stand on with 45 metrics and it has a handle, and you download an app and it shows you all the different information: visceral fat, subcutaneous fat, your body fat percentage, where everything is distributed on your body. So it's really informative, and that is HSA and FSA eligible, as well as this Hume Health band. So it's the longevity band they just launched. And again, I preface all this information with, you need to understand you, and if obsessing over information is not going to be helpful, then by all means don't do it. But I will tell you, my anxiety, my stress being up here with juggling all the things, especially in the summertime, with having my daughter at home, no camps, I mean, it's just the two of us. It's a lot to juggle businesses and motherhood and relationships and all the things. And having this constantly buzzing, and I see the rings and I see my emails coming through and I see my text messages coming through, and you're constantly looking at how many steps you got to go. Let me know if it stresses any of you else out, because this has no screen. Okay. I love it because it brings me down a notch. I can't see who's trying to contact me every moment of every given day. And for me, that has been huge. Just being able to step away from my Apple Watch for a hot second, okay? So with this band, what does it measure? Okay, so heart rate variability. This is going to, and I'm going to read a lot of this because I don't want to miss any specifics. This breaks it down in a very layman's terms manner. And so I think just running through it, just easily digestible information is key. So heart rate variability is how well your body is recovering from stress and workouts. So the goal is to have high heart rate variability. If you have low, then you need to adjust what you're doing. So if you have high, you have better resilience, better recovery, better health altogether. So if your heart rate variability is tanking, it's dropping from where it usually is, it means your body is stressed. So in that case, as I tell clients all the time, this is not the time to do high intensity interval training. This isn't the time to go out and go for an all day hike. This isn't the day to try to get all of your gardening done, as well as HIIT training, as well as fast that day. Okay, so this also factors into how your eating strategies are going. And a lot of people get into fasting, which again, there's a time and a place, but if your heart rate variability is down, this is the time to lighten up the load in all regards, okay? Sleep a little bit more, sleep a little longer, do a little less strenuous activities. So the sleep quality and sleep stages is also measured with this device. And obviously, this is important for body repair, recovery, all of that. So this is the name of the game with us women, is as we hit perimenopause, it's going to get that much more difficult. So just understand that this is also going to show you, okay, well, my sleep is shit, or I'm sleeping better. I have, really good deep sleep, but my REM sleep isn't there, or vice versa. So it gives you a lot of that information. Resting heart rate, we know what that is. The lower the resting heart rate, the fitter, the better in general. But you can also kind of gauge that as, okay, well, maybe I'm dehydrated because my heart rate is a lot higher. If you're in the gym and you notice that you're huffing and puffing a lot more than usual, it could be because you're dehydrated. So anyhow, it helps you kind of make sense of that. Recovery score, this gives you a daily recovery score. So if today is a good day, then you can push harder in your workouts or whatever else. And it actually has a green light and a red light for your workouts based on what's going on inside. So you can adjust your workouts. That's something I always tell clients is if you're feeling this way, this is how to adjust your schedule, your routine, your workouts. But I don't think us as women trust our intuition enough. We don't trust our body enough. That's something I really work with clients on is you cannot continue just abiding by whatever the program is, even though your body feels this way. You have to adjust according to what your body's telling you. Your activity tracking, so you can track your steps, your movement, all of that, your respiratory rate, and this can give you signals of early illness, overtraining, all of that, your skin temperature, obviously hormonal shifts, sickness, your ovulatory phase, all of that can be tracked with this. Your heart rate variability trends and weekly insights. So patterns over time is really informative. Do you need to look into supplementation? Are you needing to adjust things? It syncs with your Hume Health app. There's information about your metabolic capacity and your metabolic momentum. So at the end of the day, this is going to give you much more information for longevity purposes. And it's not just going to give you the information, okay, your goal is to hit X amount of steps. You hit it, good job. You slept this amount of hours, good job. This gives you real-time information that's going to allow you to manipulate what you're doing with your exercise, with your nutrition, all of that. So let me know if you have any specific questions on that. But again, your nervous system, if it is dysregulated because you are pushing through whatever that means, pushing through the fast, pushing through not having carbs, pushing through the high intensity workout, even though you did not have any sleep the night before, and you decided, well, I have to still wake up even though I've only had 1 hour of sleep, but I need to get in my workout because I'm busy the rest of the day. Ladies, if you are still struggling to lose fat, to lose weight, and you're still prioritizing exercise over sleep, it will be an uphill battle all the way, okay? So yes, you have to pay for a membership with the app. Yes, you do. Oh, you mean with this? I thought you were talking about my app. This is a one-time investment for the band and then the app to give you just the normal information. I mean, I don't have a membership and it's giving me a ton of information just with the basics. The membership comes into play when you want to use it to use their workouts, to use their nutrition programming. So all of that is additional. I don't even have a clue with what that is because, again, I don't promote that because I have my own. But it's, again, something that if you really want to prioritize longevity, which again, it's so sad that most of us will spend money on looking beautiful. We'll get the fake eyelashes. We'll get hair extensions. We'll get our fake nails. We'll do all the things. But when it comes to just prioritizing our own health and longevity, that's where everyone's like, ooh, nope, pumping the brakes there. Just calling it like I see it, friends. So anyhow, go back and watch this with all of the points that the Hume Health Band does bring. But let me know if you have any questions and have a great day.